Welcome to Chit Chat with Ross
and Robbie, where we like to chat.
about chit.
We do, even on a Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday.
Do you realize you say that on every day?
I know.
Even on a Sunday.
Even on a Sunday.
Monday. Even on a Tuesday.
Why
Even on a
can't-
Wednesday.
Well,
I mean,
because we
we'll
will.
always do.
Maybe we won't one day, and then it'll be really hairy-carry, and then people will not know what's going on. But it's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
So let's see. There's all kinds of principles and such that we learn from church and the Bibles and everything. One of those principles, Paige, spare the rod, spoil the child.
Ah, yes.
Mhm.
Ah, yes.
How are we feeling about sparing and spoiling and rotting the child? You have children. I don't have children.
I have children.
She has children.
And they're big children now, but they were little children who did naughty things.
Apple falls far from the tree.
So when I was pregnant with my firstborn child, this is a funny thing. We were in a store one time shopping for baby stuff. And my husband made the comment that, well, if this kid does that, I'll beat his, you know, what? Well, my mother-in-law said, you won't spank my grandchild. And I looked at her and said, oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If he does what he needs to be to get spanked, he's going to get spanked. Yes, I will spank my children. I did spank my children.
Both.
Both.
Okay, how far apart are they in age?
2 years.
So, do you feel that you disciplined fairly with both of them?
I tried my best,
Okay.
but because they were two completely different beings,
Okay.
they were hard to discipline
That's
similarly.
Right.
So, like Ross, you could just nearly beat the crap out of him. Nothing was gonna happen.
No.
No.
Did he learn from his lesson that he got in trouble for?
No.
No. Okay.
No. He would just
Hannah?
take the beating and keep on going. Hannah, you would even start to pretend that you were going to spank her, just with your hand, not with anything else, and she'd start flailing all about. And she was such a tiny little thing, you couldn't get her. So she was hard to spank. But she was one that didn't require a lot of spankings either.
Right. Maybe also because they're the same principle. So when I was growing up, I have an older brother. We're about 8 years apart, so there's a big gap.
Yeah.
I feel like we probably had different rules growing up and a different set of rules just because there was time to change
8 years
the
is
rules.
a big
It's a big
difference.
gap. So, but I will say this, that both my parents were disciplinarians when it was necessary, but my parents felt very strict about how they raised us, and then they were very, like, my mother would give me the stink eye.
Oh, yeah.
And as a result of the stink eye, like, you just froze at whatever you were doing. And there was an implied sentence after that. After the stink eye is if Robbie Byron, if you
got the middle
Robbie
name.
Byron, if you do not quit what you're doing right now, I'm gonna give you the friendly five.
What's the friendly five?
Friendly five. Poop,
Oh!
poop, poop, poop. So
Oh.
that was the public warning if it was
The
needed.
friendly five. Gotcha.
If the friendly five did not work, then came the threat of, and when your dad gets home,
Yep.
I'm going to tell him what happened.
Yeah.
So it was a progression. I knew stink eye,
Uh-huh.
friendly five,
And then dad.
and then dad.
Okay, so in my house growing up,
Mm.
I had two younger brothers. And my dad was more the disciplinarian. Mother tried to be, but she was never really strict enough or stern enough, and sometimes we just get tickled at her because she was trying to be the disciplinarian. Now, Daddy, we didn't mess with. If one of us did anything, then we all got in trouble. He had a belt. He'd flick that belt out, and then he'd pop it. You know, you could hear it coming through the belt. And he'd pop that belt, and he'd say, okay, which one's first? My brother Matt would always go first.
But then there are some parents who feel that they should just politely put their child at a time out.
How often does that work for you?
I don't know. So I'm not a parent at all. I have no parenting skill. I probably have skills. I just have no reason to use them. So I can't really speak to this. Obviously, Paige had methods. What do you do? Like with your children, like maybe they're grown now, I understand that. But like when your children were growing up and you needed to correct them, what was your mode of correction? Did you quietly sit them in a corner to let them think about their behavior? Did that work for you? If it did, if not, did you use a friendly five? Did you get the branch off the tree and had to pick it yourself
The
and then
willow
get
tree.
swatted with that thing? Did you get the leather belt? Did you get all the above? We don't know.
Now,
So,
I do think my style will be a little different when and if I do have grandchildren. because I don't think I will spank my grandchildren ever.
And you're not allowed to. And on that note, go ahead and leave us some comments down in the box below.
Be sure and like us.
Don't forget to share us.
We'll see you next week on Facebook.
And also on YouTube.
On YouTube. Love you. Bye.